Now, normally I would walk up in front of all you, and I would open by introducing my topic in a witty way. I would probably ask if anyone in the audience had had a dream before. But I feel it is a pointless question, seeing as how humans are fascinated with their own dreams. There are books about dreaming, movies, even a specific branch of science dedicated to learning more about dreams. But what exactly is a dream? What causes them? Do they mean anything? Why do we as people have dreams in the first place? G.W. Domhoff states that four conditions must be met to experience a dream. The first being an intact and fully mature neural network for dreaming. The second being the exclusion of external stimulus. The third being a mechanism for activating the dream. And the fourth being a loss of self-control or shutdown of the cognitive system of self, also known as sleep. Due to this, research shows that dreaming occurs mostly during REM or rapid eye movement sleep. However, dreaming can also occur during NREM sleep as well, though not as frequently. Additionally, depending on what kind of sleep the dream occurs in, the dreams tend to be different. REM dreams tend to be easier to recall or remember, are more vivid, longer, and less like real-life or waking events than NREM dreams. NREM dreams are more realistic and based off real-life events. Research also shows that both kinds of dreams, when having a bizarreness scale applied, vary. Of the dreams tested, 70% of REM dreams were bizarre, while only 20% of NREM dreams were bizarre. Another thing that varies about dream is the time we spend dreaming. The length of the dreams don't vary, but rather the time spent in REM sleep, which differs by age. Children spend about 50% of their sleep in REM, adults 25%, and other older adults and the elderly as low as 15%. There could be multiple reasons for this. One large factor is memory and how it gets weaker with age. However, the largest decline in dream recall occurs around age 26, and memory usually hasn't started to fade by that time. Also, as one ages, the amount of nightmares, length of dreams, and frequency of dreams overall decline. So what is the purpose of dreaming? Studies show that when someone deprives themselves of REM sleep, the body recovers by increasing the amounts of REM sleep that occurs in one sleep session, recovering the initial REM loss. This suggests that dreaming overall is important to the body. Further research shows that dream deprivation can cause visual and auditory hallucination, memory and learning interference, impaired waking ability to do tasks that require focus, and difficulty maintaining a straight line of thought. Therefore, it is safe to assume that REM sleep has something to do with restoring well-being as well as mental functions. Dreams can also improve one's memory. Alan Hobson of the Massachusetts Mental Health Center says that dreaming rehearses memory patterns. This can create new memory connections or strengthen older ones. Sound complicated? Well, maybe this example will help it make more sense to you. A study conducted on rats proved this theory. These rats were taken and placed in a maze. While exploring the maze, the scientists monitored the neural firing patterns. Neuronal firing is how the nervous system relays messages throughout the body. The scientists then monitored the neuronal firing patterns of the rats while they were in dream sleep, and the results showed that the patterns were repeated the exact same. So basically, one could say that the rats' brains relived the maze while in a dream. This experience shows that memory is strengthened by sleep. However, this isn't entirely true. Only certain memory tasks, like visual tasks that relate to dream sleep. Procedural memory tasks, that is, tasks that require practice, like learning a foreign language or playing a sport, were tied directly to the amount of dream sleep. A study showed that when someone tried to learn a task in the evening after having a good night's sleep, they were 50% to 20% faster and 30 to 40% more accurate than someone else who had learned the task 12 hours earlier and were trying it again. Adding on, dreams can also help a person make good decisions during a critical moment. Often in tense situations, one will remember situation in the past that closely relates to one at hand, and decide the next course of action from there. This happens during a dream. While in a similar situation in a dream, the person might make a different decision than they did while they were awake, and the outcome could be better or vice versa. Either way, this helps the person learn from their mistakes without actually having to make the mistakes in real life. As one can see, dreaming plays a huge role in learning as well as memory. The biggest question I hear regarding dreams is also the most common one. Do dreams have meaning? Can we as people use dreams in any way, or are they just a way to pass the hours we spend sleeping? To start, let's talk about the dream experience. While dreaming, it seems that we are experiencing events like we would in real life. However, once we wake up and recall the dream, if we are able to, we realize that isn't the case. We notice that things don't quite make sense, and situations and scenarios that would never be realistic and logical cause and effect is thrown right out the window. So how could dreams possibly be meaningful? Well, first off, we are in a conscious state while dreaming. However, it is entirely different than being conscious while we are awake. The signals that signify consciousness are present, which are firing signals of specific nuclei in the brain from various neural paths. However, in waking consciousness, these nuclei fire in response to outside stimulus. During a dream, though, the brain activates itself from within without any external influence. Some say the brain does this because the higher centers of the brain are attempting to make sense of the activity in the lower centers, which create dreams. So basically, this means that dreams could be our brain trying to make a logical and rational story out of random activity within itself. If that's true, then wow, that's a pretty huge letdown. Don't get your hopes down yet, though. We already know that dreams are important to improving learning and memory, and although it isn't proven, the brain may be performing crucial processing during dreams. The brain reacts from external stimulus, correct? Well, what if during that conscious state experienced during dreaming, the brain had a purpose for activating itself? A purpose other than what we already discussed could be present. Scientists aren't certain yet, but they do think it exists. It's only a matter of time before we know why we dream.